Hello and welcome to this ultimate guide to safety and quality about essential oils. This is probably one of the most important videos I'm going to make, except for the Essential Oils one-on-one class. But I think if you understand this topic very well, then you will use the essential oils very safe and you're more set up to have success with them. Also, you will be more educated to make your own decisions around this. So to help to calm down any confusion, because there's so many information out there, I hope this video will help you with this topic. My name is Iris Degnes. I'm an essential oil specialist, certified, and also a mom, and very dedicated to the topic of well-being for us mothers. So that's why I'm sharing here these videos, and hope this will help you with learning more about essential oils, but also making the right decision when it comes to what to choose. So before we dive deeper, I give you just an overview about what topics are important around quality and safety. Because when you know that an essential oil is pure, then it basically means it is also in the right amount of dosages, of course. It is safe to use. So it is very important to understand this topic. So around this topic, there are 7 things you need to consider about quality and safety. And we will go through each of these in this video. So first, what is purity? We will talk about that. Second, the botanical source. What does that mean? What has it to do with quality and safety? We will also talk about the extraction method, chemical composition. We will talk about the testing of the essential oils and packaging, how this will affect quality, and of course sustainability and ethics when you go out and look for a brand to purchase your essential oils from. Let's get started. So purity really means how nature made it. We did not add anything to it. We did not extract anything from it. There are no synthetic compounds added to it, and it's not diluted in any way. So put in other things to stretch it in a certain amount, right? That is, in a nutshell, what purity means. Essential oils, just quickly, are the volatile compounds from the plant material that we extract. And we can use 2 methods for that, which is steam distillation or cold pressing. Cold pressing mechanically just presses it out and we take the essential oils from there, or steam distillation is where you have a bigger process with water and steam, and the oil gets extracted that way and then is separated again and at a later point and put into the bottles. So when you think about that, the botanical source has something to do with what method you can use, because for example for lemons, for example, if you want to have the oil from the peel, you can of course use the cold extraction method, which is kind of even more it doesn't change the composition in any way because it's no temperature involved. Steam distillation can have some effect, but it's still not that it completely changes the essential oil. So this has something to do there. And of course, we have several different parts we can use when you think about what parts we can use. So that it's also something when you think about the different types, how to use those essential oils. So let me just check my list here, because there are 7 different types. So you have floral oils, you have citrus oils, you have resin oils, you have more the woody oils, you have herbaceous oils, you have spicy oils, and the root and seed oils. So these plant materials are gathered and go through the distillation process. Botanical sources. Where does the plant grow? How are the conditions there? So some essential oils are considered having higher quality than others. So it has something to do about, the climate, regional climate, the soil, quality of the soil, and naturally how they were tended, the plant material, right? So that's really to consider about botanical source when you look through different brands and all that. And we come later to that with the sustainability and ethics point, which is, I think, one of the most important thing. So number 4, chemical composition. The chemical composition of an essential oil can now be verified. We live in a world where things are cataloged in databases, and it can be, every laboratory could potentially have access to this data. But we live in a world where where the money goes around and profit is to be made, right? So there are not that many, I would say, that consider the quality is one of the most important things when it comes to, and what kind of quality. Quality can be, I have this quality and this one is this quality, But as the consumer, we consider that our highest, standard of living is taken care of with consideration to the quality of the oils that I put into my body. So when you think about that, then you need to really be sure that the essential oils you buy have the highest quality, especially when you use them with your kids and in your family. So purity is the number 1 factor in a quality point of view for an essential oil. It's the number 1 characteristic. And it is only through testing that you can reveal what kind of purity an essential oil has. And we are talking about 0.5% of contamination or adulteration that has to be verified, that there is something in here which does not belong. And there's not a high dosage that has to come with the essential oils into contact with us that can have an effect on us. So since we have the possibility to verify, this is the like a profile for lavender. This is a profile for bergamot. This is a profile for frankincense. We can test this, and there is extensive testing done by the brand that I use. Over 160 tests are done to make sure that what goes into the bottle is actually pure. They are committed to this, and I really hope they never step down from their own promise and the own standard that they have set in that industry. There were no standards before. Now we have a standard. So pure oils really guarantee a safe usage. And while the demand is rising, of course, purity will be one of the things to look at. And impurity is also something that can happen through the whole cycle of an essential oil production, harvesting from when it grows in the soil, through tending to the plants, harvesting, through the actual process, after the process, and through storage and packaging, all of that. So let's dive deeper into testing and certification about essential oils. So the brand that I work with is has created this standard. I think back in 2008 when they started. They have come a long way, but still it is the demand has risen so much. It's so important. And even in my family and friends circle, I get to hear like, oh, I was in the shop and I got this oil and it was like €4 and it was this value. It wasn't, yeah, okay. But it probably is not tested that much and was not verified that it is pure. So I can't use it and I won't use it on my kids. It's just simple as that, But the problem is so many people do not know. So that's why this video is so important. So there are different things that are different words and labels that are used, like therapeutic and organic or biological, or different labels to give a sense to the consumer that this is, safe, pure, in a sense. But the only way to really test, to find out, is through testing. And brands have to do an enormous amount of testing. As I said, over 160 tests just to make sure that an oil is really not contaminated, not adulterated, it's pure. So let's dive into these two words. Contamination is something that can be easily detected. It happens unintentionally and can happen through different phases as well in the cycle, but it can be like heavy metal, it can be in the soil, pesticides, it could be plastic and other things, but they are really easily to be detected because we usually know a lot about the way that things are harvested and farmed, and if someone uses chemical fertilizers and all those things. So those are more, we are able to detect more easily. But adulteration, here's where the topic gets almost a little bit criminal, because adulteration is done knowingly. So it is done to make more profit. It is done to stretch an oil or to adjust its compound in a way, and you can do this with either lower priced oils that are added to an originally, let's say, pure oil, and then it's adulterated with another oil that is added, so we get more from that oil, and because it has a higher price on the market, we will have a higher profit. Other compounds that are naturally occurring in other plants can be added. It can be added through synthetics, so in the laboratory generated compounds that are cheap and then added to the essential oil. And that is why this is way harder to test or figure out, because if you test an oil that has lavandin in it, which is part of the lavender essential oil, you can say that it's just how much of the lavandin is in a natural oil, for example, right? Because maybe there are other plants, I'm not sure about all the lavender plants that are available, but maybe there are some, and they are also harvested and they are cheaper, and extracted the lavandin, and then you make this the volume of the actual lavender plant that we want in our essential oil, the amount larger. So, and this is really like getting criminal in my point of view, and is really hard to detect if you do not have experience and you need a database to test for and test against. So that basically wraps up the testing and certification part of things. So the brand that I work with solved it in a way that they said they will never sell it over the counter, because that just means you open up the doors that you might go into a shop and see the same label, because you can print the label and you can put in a different oil. So they could never be sure that the bottle that is sold in the shop is actually what is inside is from that brand. So they only sell through their own shop. You do not get it anywhere else. You just get it from their warehouses. And bottles have appeared all over the place in the internet, because now the brand name is bigger. People have heard from it. You search on the internet and you can find a bottle on Amazon to buy, which is ridiculous if you know a little bit more about the brand and you know a little bit more about their practices and where you can buy the essential oils. So this is it's crazy. So keep that in mind. And I have a freebie where I share some essential oils with you. It's for mothers, either pregnancy and postpartum, or with babies, kids. It works really nice. You can test it, and I link it below. So, or if you are ready to check out the shop for the brand that I work with, I'll link that below as well. So choose your way. I have also an app with a course where I even go further in this testing topic, just to let you all know how important this is and how this brand that I work with really works behind the scenes, because I, as an essential oil specialist, I'm certified with that brand. We get more information about this, of course, as the usual customer who's, just wants to buy the oil and use it, right? I get it. But it's this point here. This video is the most important video you will watch. So let's talk about the last things around packaging and storage. So packaging and storage has something to do, because since it's very volatile, it has to be a container which contains the oil and doesn't slip anything out or through. It also has to be preferably like a darker glass bottle, because the UV lighting from the sun destroys the chemicals in the essential oils, which reduces the quality. And of course, over time. So the shelf life of an essential oils can vary, I think, but usually it's around 3 years. So when you buy an essential oil, you have it also for quite a long time, which is amazing, which is great. But you need to know to put it not on a shelf where the sunlight comes in throughout the day, or at a very warm place. That all has an impact on the essential oil. So anything else I would not go for. Also, for example, plastic bottles. Essential oils are so strong, they actually will start to extract compounds from the plastic into the essential oil. So if you use the essential oils that has been in a plastic bottle, you also use it on yourself, those compounds. So that's really important to know. So never use essential oils from a plastic bottle. When you use it in your water, always have stainless steel bottles or glass bottles, or a glass of water. I think the final point is sustainability and ethics. As I already talked about it, it's something you should care about, because a lot of the essential oils that we use come from different regions around the globe, and often from areas where there are already pressure on social difficulties and parts of the society are, under pressure to sustain living. And while we sit on the one side of the bottle, it's so important to know what's on the other side on the bottle as well, I think. And that's why I love the brand that I partnered with, and to really focus on the stories and the success stories that they can have when they take care of the plants and of the earth. It gives a much higher quality essential oil, and luckily those that started this company that I work with had trust in that process and went through a lot of hardship, because sometimes you need to invest 2 years to get an essential oil in the quality that you want to have, with these high standards, and together with the ethics and the human side of this as well. Well, I think that covers it all. If you still have any questions, I'm happy to make another video and dive into those things. I hope you learned a ton, and I'll see you on the inside of my course, where I go even deeper. You learn all the details on how to use essential oils and get started with yourself and your baby or kids. I welcome you so much, and otherwise I'll leave the links below to the shop if you're interested there, and also my freebie. So again, thank you so much for connecting here with me today, and above all, be well.